Well, hello there, all you viewers out there. It's been more than 2 weeks since I unboxed this, and I'm pretty sure this looks pretty familiar to all of you. This is the Tornado Tank, the same one that I unboxed, and I've learned a few things about this. I mean, you learn as you go along. That's what I like about this. It's not your common everyday 510 thread. This is a powerful device, very ingenious, and whoever designed this gets a blue ribbon. As you see, it still produces a lot of good vapor. I have got the same pill box that came in the box. I keep all of my tips in here, and I still have some of the liquid left, although there's not much in this bottle. The only thing I don't like about these is that it burns through liquid like crazy. But what I do like about this is everything else. For instance, the battery stays a lot longer. You got a lot longer of a battery charge. The atomizer still kicking. I mean, it's amazing. The tips, very easy to keep and maintain, very easy to clean. I get a really good throat hit, and this is probably by far the best thing I've ever used. And now this is the only thing I'll ever use. So if you ever decide on getting the Tornado Tank from Totally Wicked e-liquid, I say go for it. It's a good investment. It keeps the cravings down to a minimum. I mean, I don't crave cigarettes anymore, and I still haven't smoked since April. And I really don't need to because now I have this. And this has been a great device. It has been a lifesaver. It has been everything I've ever wanted in an e-cigarette, except for the fact that you go through the liquids really fast. All in all, I'm going to have to give this, out of a possible 10, a 9. Yeah, you get a lot of the good things that you get in a good quality e-cigarette, but there's only the issue of it burns through liquid like no tomorrow. The tips don't hold as much as, say, a full day's use. But if you pace yourself, and you actually got to commit to doing this too, you got to pace yourself, you can make this thing last a whole day. And I have actually managed, there's a funny story. While I was in PA, I remembered everything. I remembered the spare battery, the spare atomizer, and all of my tips and all of my liquids. The thing I forgot was my charger. I left it plugged into the computer. So when I first got to PA, my initial thought was, okay, I should change batteries now and charge the one I got, and then go start using this other charged battery I had with me. I went and reached into my bag, and I've got my charger for my phone was there, the charger for my Nintendo DS was there, but the charger for this, I remembered, was still plugged into my computer back home. So here I am, about 6 hours away from home, with no hope of getting that charger. Now, I thought about ordering an extra charger, but then I called home to my roommate, and he was able to send it out to me while I was in PA, which was a great help. But I had to use, for the 2 days that I was there without my charger, I had to use the rest of this battery and the spare battery, which had a full charge in it already. And I had to make it count. I had to use it as less as possible. And I managed to do it. And right when I got that charger, the other battery went out. Battery life, stupendous. Atomizer, couldn't be better. The tips could hold a little bit more, but, you know, if you pace yourself, you can make it last a full day. And the only other thing is it burns through my liquid a lot faster than the others, but that's the only downside. Everything else is a huge plus. So I'd say go for the Tornado Tank. You can get it in separate colors, black, white, and brushed steel. There's also another thing, too, I've discovered, and I've also like to show what I've learned about maintaining these things, because there are some things that the booklet doesn't tell you, and you actually have to go online and look this information up. So instead of having you go through the jungle of the internet to find this information, I went ahead and put this in the video along with my follow-up. When you get this, it's very helpful that when you're done with the tip, immediately rinse it under a cold tap water and let it dry naturally. Other methods you can use, if you're realizing that you're not getting a strong enough hit from these, that means that you need to prime your tips. So the way you do that is if you realize that you're not getting a good enough hit, you have to pretty much take a napkin. I'm going to disassemble my already assembled battery and kit. Battery comes off, tip comes off. So now you're just left with the atomizer, the cone-shaped atomizer. Now here's what you do. Take the side that has the connector, the battery part, the connector, and you blow a great heap of air into it until the tip stops dripping on the other end, like so. Now usually I get about 4 or 5 good drips. Then you just tap it a little bit, help the rest of it along there. And voila, there you go. That's the extra liquid that was inside this atomizer. So now that you've completely dried it out as best as you can, give it a few extra puffs too, just in case, there was a stray drop or two. You basically do this until you don't see any more liquid dripping out. Usually 4 or 5 drops usually come out. And then you give it a little tap and help the rest of it along. Now, if you want to, take this end, which shows the spike that goes into the heating coil, and you take your napkin, roll it up, and take the end of it, and just kind of insert it to collect all the rest of the residual, moisture that's in there from, e-liquid and condensation, that sort of thing. And you just do like this number with it. Kind of insert it and then just dry it out. There you go. Okay, now you set that aside, and you have a nice dry atomizer. Screw this back onto the battery like so. Oops. Yeah, I had that right. Okay, take your tip, pop it back in. There you go. Okay, now that's just the first thing you do. Second, when you put in a new tip, you also have to prime the tip, and this is how you prime the tip. Without pressing this button down, you take a draw, as strong as of a draw as you can, 3 times. And then blow into it once. And there you go. It's primed and ready for its full potential. By doing this, you'll get more vapor and the throat hit that you're used to. That is how you maintain your tips and your atomizer. That is how you prime it, that is how you maintain it, and that is how you keep the strength going. Because you'll notice that sometimes these things aren't as strong as what they used to be. It's not a problem with the e-cigarette at all. You just have to maintain it, and that's part of the maintenance that you have to keep when you own a Tornado tank. Now, you follow those steps. Once in a while, you don't have to do this every time, but once you start losing that potential, all you got to do is just do what I showed you, and you're ready to go. Look at that vapor. Beautiful vapor, and I am in love with this device. I'm really going to have to hand it to the people who made this. I am really liking this device. So, now that you know everything you need to know about the Tornado tank, I urge everybody who is interested in the e-cigarette thing to throw away those old worthless batteries once and for all and invest in one of these. Because let me tell you something, once you get these, you'll forget all about your other supply of batteries and cartomizers and atomizers and blank atomizers and whatever you have. Because I, for one, am pretty much like you, always out to find the perfect e-cig. And I found it with Tornado Tank. And I've never once had a problem with it. The batteries are still holding a very strong charge. I don't have to carry an entire kit with me. If I'm going to be gone the entire day, this is all I take. So take it from me, and if you don't believe me, try it for yourself by going to totallywickedeliquid.com. And there's the URL right there. So check them out. And if you happen to find a British guy by the name of Scott that shows you the video on how to use this, he's one awesome dude. He's one who turned me on into this. So hopefully I was able to turn a lot of you onto using this as well. And this is my follow-up to the Tornado Tank E-Liquid from totallywickedeliquid.com. And tell them Brett Blumfield sent you. Now, I might not get a blue ribbon, I might not get a medal, I might not even get a discount on my next order, but I'm not really concerned about that. Well, what I am concerned is that all of you e-smokers out there get what you pay for, and you will get that and more with the Tornado Tank from totallywickedeliquid.com. So check it out for yourself. If you don't believe me, don't take my word for it. Look around to see what other people have reviewed on, and I've noticed a lot of people have reviewed on this, and it's become quite a wonderful device. I can't really convince you otherwise just by saying, but I hope that I was able to at least send some business their way, and if you do, tell them I sent you. I might get a discount, I might not, I might actually have an angry mob at my door for referring so many people, but try it for yourself. Let's all come together and fight for the freedom to vape. I'm Brett Blumfield, a.k.a. SonicBlu Darkfold. Enjoy!